You notice the smoke first. It's May 1883, and you're standing on the deck of a trading ship passing through the Sunda Strait between Java and Sumatra. To your north, the island of Krakatoa rises from the sea, volcanic and green. But today, something is different. A column of black smoke spirals from its peak, thick and aggressive. You've seen volcanic activity before. These islands are restless. But this feels heavier. The smoke doesn't dissipate. It grows. Over the following days, small explosions echo across the water. Ash begins to fall like gray snow on passing ships. Captains report strange sounds, deep rumbles that seem to come from beneath the ocean itself. The locals aren't concerned, not yet. Krakatoa has erupted before. It always settles. But you feel it in your bones. Something is waking, something ancient and furious, and it won't go back to sleep. Before the eruption, the Sunda Strait was life. Fishing villages dotted the coasts of Java and Sumatra. Wooden boats crossed daily, carrying spices, rice, cloth. The water was clear, turquoise, warm. Children played on black sand beaches. Families lived in bamboo houses built on stilts, designed to catch the sea breeze. Trade routes ran through here, connecting the Dutch East Indies to the world. Krakatoa itself was rarely visited. It was just a volcanic island, unremarkable, covered in jungle. 3 volcanic peaks jutted from the center, dormant for 2 centuries. Life moved around it, unbothered. The people here didn't fear the mountain. Why would they? It had been silent their entire lives. Generations had fished these waters, farmed these coasts. They trusted the rhythm of the tides, the predictability of the seasons. But beneath them, pressure was building, magma rising, and no one knew. By August, the mountain is screaming. Explosions occur daily, sometimes hourly. Ash clouds tower kilometers into the sky, visible from hundreds of miles away. The sea around Krakatoa boils. Steam hisses where lava meets water. Ships avoid the area entirely now. Those who sailed too close report waves that seem to come from nowhere, sudden and violent. The sky turns gray, then black. Day becomes twilight. In the coastal towns of Anyer and Merak, people stand in the streets, watching the horizon. Ash falls constantly, coating rooftops, choking wells. The air smells of sulfur. At night, you see it. Flashes of red and orange lighting up the smoke plume. The mountain is glowing. On August 26th, the eruptions intensify. Explosions shake the ground. Windows crack in towns 40 miles away. Animals flee inland. Birds vanish. And then, on the morning of August 27th, at precisely 10:02, Krakatoa detonates. The explosion is incomprehensible. 2/3 of the island simply ceases to exist. In an instant, the mountain collapses into itself, and the magma chamber below erupts with the force of 200 megatons of TNT, 13,000 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. The sound is beyond description. It's not a sound. It's a physical force, a pressure wave that travels outward at the speed of sound, compressing the air itself. Ships 100 miles away are nearly capsized by the shock wave alone. Sailors' eardrums rupture. In Jakarta, 160 kilometers away, windows shatter simultaneously. People are thrown to the ground. The explosion is heard in Perth, Australia, in Mauritius, in Sri Lanka, places 4,800 kilometers away. Farmers in the Australian outback hear booming and think it's cannon fire. It's the loudest sound in recorded human history. And you, if you were anywhere near, wouldn't just hear it. You'd feel your skeleton shake. The sound doesn't stop. The pressure wave from the explosion circles the Earth. Not once, 7 times. Barometers in London, in New York, in Bogota spike and dip as the shock wave passes through. Scientists don't understand what they're recording. It's unprecedented. In the Sunda Strait, the air itself seems to scream. The shock wave is so powerful, it causes strange atmospheric phenomena. Ships report air waves that feel like walls of pressure slamming into them. Animals hundreds of miles inland behave erratically. Dogs howl, cattle stampede. The human ear wasn't designed for noise at this magnitude. Within 50 kilometers of the eruption, the sound is estimated at over 180 decibels. That's beyond fatal. At that level, sound doesn't just damage your hearing. It ruptures organs. It can kill. Those closest to Krakatoa who survived the blast itself were found dead with no external injuries, just internal hemorrhaging. The sound killed them. You realize this isn't just an eruption. It's a rupture in reality itself. If you're captivated by the sheer power of nature's most violent moments, if you want to witness more events that rewrote history in seconds, subscribe now. We bring you into the heart of the catastrophes that shaped our world. Stay with us, because what comes next is even worse. The explosion creates something far deadlier than sound. When 2/3 of Krakatoa collapses into the sea, it displaces billions of tons of water. Instantly. The ocean doesn't know where to go, so it rises. Tsunamis form in every direction, not small waves, walls of water. The first wave is 30 meters tall, the second, 40. They radiate outward at 800 kilometers per hour, faster than any ship can sail. In the fishing villages along the coast, people have no warning. They're still reeling from the explosion when the horizon darkens. But it's not night, it's water. A mountain of ocean rushing toward them. The waves hit the coast of Java and Sumatra with apocalyptic force. Entire towns are erased in seconds. Anyer, a bustling port town of 5,000 people, is wiped from existence. The wave is so tall it tears buildings from their foundations, snaps trees like twigs, and drags everything back into the sea. In Merak, a Dutch steamship is lifted by the wave and deposited 3 kilometers inland on top of a hill. Bodies are found in trees, in fields, tangled in debris. The official death toll is 36,417. But that's only what could be counted. Entire villages left no survivors to report losses. Some communities simply vanished. Fishermen out at sea returned to find their homes gone. Not destroyed. Gone. Just empty coastline and debris. You stand in the wreckage if you survived, and the silence is unbearable. No birds, no voices, just the wind moving through shattered wood and ash. The sky turns red, not metaphorically, literally. The explosion has ejected 25 cubic kilometers of rock, ash, and pumice into the atmosphere. Some of it reaches the stratosphere, 50 kilometers high. The particles are so fine, they stay suspended for months, circling the globe. Sunlight passing through them scatters, creating vivid, blood-red sunsets. In London, fire brigades are called out repeatedly. Citizens report the sky is on fire. Artists paint the phenomenon. Edvard Munch's famous painting, The Scream, is believed to have been inspired by these blood-red skies over Norway. But it's not just beautiful. It's deadly. Global temperatures drop by 1.2 degrees Celsius over the next year. Crops fail. Weather patterns shift. The ash cloud creates a volcanic winter that affects harvests worldwide. You look up, and the sun is dimmed, pale, barely visible through the haze. The world has darkened, and it will stay dark. The survivors return to nothing. The coastlines of Java and Sumatra are unrecognizable. Where there were villages, there's mud and wreckage. Where there were forests, there's ash. Krakatoa itself is mostly gone. What remains is a shattered caldera, smoking and hissing. Ships that sail near report the sea is clogged with pumice, floating rock so thick you could almost walk on it. Bodies float among the debris for weeks. The Dutch colonial government sends aid, but it's overwhelmed. How do you rebuild when the land itself has been reset to zero? Some survivors leave. They can't bear to stay. Others, with nowhere to go, begin again. They clear ash. They plant. They fish in waters that still smell of sulfur. But the trauma is permanent. Entire family lines were erased. Cultural knowledge, oral histories, traditions, gone with the people who carried them. The Sunda Strait is quieter now, emptier, haunted. Krakatoa changed science forever. Before 1883, volcanoes were understood poorly. After Krakatoa, volcanology became a serious field. Governments realized they needed monitoring systems, warning networks. The eruption proved that nature could kill tens of thousands in minutes and reach across the globe in hours. It was a wake-up call, but nature doesn't stop. In 1927, a new volcanic cone began to rise from the submerged caldera of Krakatoa. It's called Anak Krakatoa, child of Krakatoa. And it's growing. Every year it gets taller. It erupts regularly, violently. In 2018, part of it collapsed into the sea, triggering another tsunami that killed over 400 people. The child is following the parent. The people living along the Sunda Strait know this. They live with the knowledge that it could happen again, that the mountain is still there, still growing, still angry. You were there in 1883. You heard the world explode, and now you know. Some forces can't be controlled, only survived, if you're lucky.